Welcome back to another Fantastic Congress video. Today we're going to be looking at 4 different terms that relate to how Congress works for the people. So the first one, we want to look at the term census. So on your notes, you're going to have a chart. You're going to have a column for a definition and then a column for an example or an application. We're going to do the example application in class, so just knock out the definition in this video. So the census, this is the population count that takes place every 10 years, okay? Population count of the United States every 10 years. So the last one that we had was here in 2020, okay? The goal of the census, of course, is to figure out how many people live in the United States, but the goal is also to figure out how many representatives each state gets. We got to make sure that we distribute those representatives based on the actual population of the states, okay? Next, we have reapportionment, and reapportionment is the act of redistributing representatives after the census, okay? There are 435 representatives, so every 10 years, we have to look at that and see if the states that have 55 representatives, do they still need that many? Or maybe the states that have 10 representatives, do they need more representatives, okay? So the representatives are redistributed based on the census. And if your state gains a representative, that means that your population probably exploded. It just boomed. If your state loses a representative, that means that maybe your population didn't increase as drastically as other states. It doesn't necessarily mean that your state's population decreased. Okay? So next, redistricting. This is kind of the next step in the process of awarding representatives. And when we redistrict, we look at the population of a state and we figure out how we can draw the district lines in those states to make them as equal as possible. Okay, and we're going to look at that in class. But when we redraw district lines, we have to do that every time we have a census because we got to make sure that maybe a whole bunch of people who lived in a really urban area, maybe they moved out of the urban area over the course of 10 years. And you've got to make sure that your districts that you draw are still equal in population. And the last term, this is a fun one, gerrymandering. Gerrymandering, here's your definition, is the process of drawing congressional boundary lines to benefit a political party. Okay, and we're going to be looking at that in class, and you guys are going to get to gerrymander too. So gerrymandering, it's the process of redrawing district lines or congressional district lines to benefit a political party. There's also one other thing I want you to know about this. Gerrymandering is named after a guy named Elbridge Gerry, and he was the first person to gerrymander, and we'll talk about how that works in class. Okay, I'm going to stop there. If you guys have any questions, let me know.